like that, dog. No, that's fire. And then,
Yeah.
going into, your early years, you and Elliot Cadeau. Did you guys grow up in elementary together? I read that. Like,
Oh yeah.
is that true?
We
And talk about your dynamic, bro. I didn't know it was
we met.
elementary. I thought it was like,
Yeah, we met actually. What was I was I was in first and he was in second. It was something like that. First, second grade. We met actually at a basketball tournament. My first time I was leaving a football game. He was on the team. We met and like he was the first person I talked to on the whole team, and we just had like a connection since that day. We used to then we wind up playing with the coach that was the coach of that team. We end up leaving teams with him, and we just stayed connected since then. And I mean, blessed to have him in my life too. My best friend, growing up with him. So, happy to see him doing what he's doing too.
yeah, and I really want you to speak to this because like the dynamic, both of you guys could have went to a different program and been the guy, but y'all decided to play together. I think that's
Hmm.
super cool, and it helps you with your journey alongside going up and playing in college and playing in the NBA. How is that
Hmm.
dynamic with playing with someone that also has an elite skill set and is nice, and how important is winning too? Because that helps you get prepared for this level. Both of y'all playing at winning programs, so it makes sense.
Um, it was definitely a blessing, just being able to have somebody like him, having a best friend where every time I wanted to go to the gym, he wants to go to the gym. We making each other better. And I just feel like the connection that we had since day one was just like a connection we really know. I don't think anybody should really break up if you have that type of connection. We had the chance. We definitely had a chance to go to different teams, and we did split up. But it wasn't even for different team reasons. My dad started his own team, so I went to go play with my dad. But that's when I also played for two teams at the time, trying to make it back and forth. But it was just harder. But I would just say that if you have a connection, that type of connection is not really something you should really try to break up. And I think we figured that out early. And we were younger. We also won a lot. So like it was just something like why would we stop now when we feel like we can just do this all the way up to high school, college, when we really might have to break up.
Um, and then kind of like it's kind of funny too because I talked to Malik just last week, and Malik was like, "Man, like for me watching Tahaad and Elliot, I was cool with coming off the bench. He was like, I was cool with coming off the bench because I looked up to those guys
Hmm.
and I learned so much from them. Like when you hear stuff like that, especially from another top prospect, and especially for me, when I first went to an AAU tournament recently, I
Hmm.
saw a kid leave at halftime, bro. Like literally, it was like, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everybody don't just stay at programs anymore. Everybody
Uh-huh.
leaves. But when you hear like players like Malik say that, they want to learn under you, how does that make you feel in terms of like, especially what this era of basketball is where people would leave and like instead you got a top prospect saying, I want to learn from Tahaad and Elliott.
I mean, it means a lot, especially coming from Malik. That's like my little brother. We talk all the time. Um, you know, Knowing that he's a top player coming in the country playing up. Of course, he wants the ball. He's leaving a team where he was taking 30 shots, but for him to just be able to sit down and learn from us and be able to watch and understand that we're the older guys in the situation. We've been in situations that you might not have been through, and him just being able to understand that at a young age, especially at a time now where people, like you said, just will give up, go to another team. It's honestly a blessing, and that's why, he's in the position that he's in right now to be able to play at the highest level next year.
Yep. And kind of going into NIL just a little bit, you and Dylan, you guys have the same age. And number one, how is your guys' relationship being from Jersey? And then two, speak a little bit about this little give back that you're doing next week. I heard you have a little give back going, but talk
Um,
about the relationship with you and Dylan first.
Dylan, that's like my brother too. We grew up
Mhm.
probably. I think I met Dylan in the fourth grade, and ever since that, we just been locked in. So, you know, yeah, all of us, we all really met at a young age. We all pretty much really just met each other around like I say like fourth, fifth grade was like when we all started really just coming together, and try to get in a gym as much as possible together, just hanging out. Especially being from Jersey, not really much to do out there, so you you better. That's the most you go get is a friend group. So just being around them every day or whenever I get the chance to is a big blessing.
Yeah, and then talk about the give